Are you ready? Are you ready for the Dick and Darren Comedy Podcast? Are you ready?
I've been ready for 25 fucking minutes.
I was born ready, motherfucker, was the right answer.
That'd be funny if you're going to fight. Are you ready, mother? I've been ready for the last 25 minutes. No, you're supposed to cut, take. You're supposed to say, I was born ready.
Orderly.
Stupid.
It's the Dick and Darren Comedy Podcast.
Dick, and Darren Carter Comedy Podcast.
Get your jollies.
Gong.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what it is? It's just my stupid idiot, mind. Because it's funny. You get on the airplane, and the same thing happened when we left LA. Like, we're on the airplane in Los Angeles. And I'm like, oh, look at these cool Latino Mexican people. And then for some reason, when we landed, I was like, wow, they look awfully Cuban now. Like, all of a sudden, their pants look white, and they have flowered shirts on, and, This one guy behind me, oh, my God, maybe he never flies. I don't know what it was. He was behind me. He was one of those, like, paranoid fucks, Like, he was behind me, and anytime there was a slight bit of turbulence, like, very slight, like the plane would barely shake, he opened up his paper bag and was like, oye, coño, I think I'm going to throw up. And he was like hawking up, and I'm like, are you seriously doing this? Like, what an overreactor. I fell asleep, right? I mean, can you imagine opening up the bag and like it's going to happen for reals now? And at one point I fell asleep and somebody in the row behind me pressed the button, like the call button, like ding, ding. And they were like, red alert, red alert, red alert. And I was like, oh shit. Kind of like I'm waking up in my dream state. Somebody had fainted back by the bathrooms in the back of the plane. And the flight attendant, it's funny when you see like a real emergency, not funny, but it's interesting. In a real emergency, people are like bumbling idiots, man. Like they're trying to the flight attendants rushed over and they're walking really fast and they're trying to open up the overhead compartment and trying to pull down an oxygen tank. And they're like, I can't do it. I can't get it. Somebody flight it. And then another person, they're jamming. And then finally a passenger had to help them pull out the oxygen tank. And they get on the intercom. Is there a doctor on board? Is there a doctor or nurse on board willing to help? A doctor or nurse on board willing to help? Yeah. And then they go back and I don't really know what happened because I fell asleep again, but I was like,
Darren Carter, caring individual.
I was tired. I was like, half
I got a show tonight, you guys.
Guys, listen,
keep it down.
Keep it down back there. No.
Why don't you just let him alone? Maybe he took an Ambien.
Yeah, I think I don't know what it might have been somebody partying too hard. But we landed and the person was fine. But it was funny because I figured, if we landed in Miami, we're good. I mean, because this is otherwise we'll have an emergency stop in Denver.
You're so LA. Somebody's having a medical emergency and you're like, really?
Really? You're gonna do this on my dime? No, actually, I was very LA. I was like, oh great, now I have something to tweet about. This would have been otherwise it would have been the guy behind me, throwing up in the bag. That would have been the tweet, but this is much better. And coming back from LA.
By the way, that same thing happened to me on a bus one time. An old guy started having chest pains, and everybody was kind of freaking out because we didn't know what to do.
It's scary.
And this woman went over and she was like, "Is there a doctor on board?" And I was like, "We're on a bus, lady. Not a lot of doctors ride the bus."
Yeah. Maybe Dr. Dre. With the Dr. Dre headphones.